Hi everyone, hi YouTube. This is Fee again. I thought I'll just show you of my Psychopsis orchid. The last time when I was doing my orchid collection, this orchid only had one bloom and the other one was about to open. So now today both of them have opened and this is what they look like. I really love this orchid. I mean, the bloom is so unique and funny looking. Don't they just kind of look like two warriors standing ground or standing guard? It's just so funky. I love them. I've never, seen any kind of bloom in nature that resembles this orchid bloom at all. I mean, this just fascinating. Every time I come into my bedroom, I'll just come here and just stare at them for a while. Okay, so I thought today I'll just kind of talk a little bit more about this orchid and give you a little bit more detail about its growth in requirements and how I take care of it and things like that. So as I mentioned in the orchid collection video, that when the old bloom or the old bud opens, the new bud will form. So that is the new bud right here, that little tip. There's also one on the other spike as well. See right there, that little tip. So the new bud will form at the same time when the old bud is swelling up and beginning to open. So the new bud is kind of there getting ready for the next round of blooming. It could be months later. So this orchid sometimes, I mean, it could bloom a couple times a year. It really depends on its health and whether it could support so many blooms in a year. But I guess this orchid for me, it bloomed twice this year, so it's pretty good. So anything can happen, I guess. Some of them only bloom once a year, some of them a little twice. And if you're lucky and if you're really good, it might bloom more for you. Yeah, so this is the spike that it's on. I don't currently have it, supported. I just kind of let it hang naturally. It can support itself, but it could get a little heavy because the flowers are a little bit hairy. So the characteristic of the spike is that at the bottom of the spike, closer to the bulb, it's round. So just like any orchid spike, it's round at the bottom. So as I go up toward the flower, it begins to flatten. I'm not sure if I can show you. Oh, here, see. You can see it's flattened. It's no longer round toward the top, close to the flower. So the spike flattened out, and then it flattened even more, and then there's the flower. I mean, I don't know why it does that. That's just how the plant is. It's just one of its characteristics. I thought I'd just, show you to let you know that it's not that there's something wrong with the orchid. It's just, how it is. And this is the foliage. As you can see, the leaves are mottled or variegated. And it kind of have a watermelon look to it. It's the foliage is pretty cool too. So this is the back side of the leaf, and then the front looks like that. So the front and the back look a little bit different. So some leaf have a little less mottled look, while some have more. So it really depends. And since this is a oncidium orchid, It's called the Oncidium palpilio orchid. It's also known as Psychopsis. So this particular plant is called a Psychopsis mendenhall hildos. So since it's a oncidium orchid, it has pseudobulbs. Mine's a little, wrinkled. I just watered it. I tend to have it on the drier side because I don't want to ruin the root system. I don't want anything to rot. That's just how I do things. I mean, you can have your own routine. It's really up to you and your comfort level. It's doing fine with me. So each pseudobulb will put out one leaf, and each pseudobulb will have one spike. So the pseudobulb will only spike when it's matured. So now I have two spikes, but I have a couple of pseudobulbs. I'm not sure if they have matured or if like it already spiked and somebody cut off the spike already, but I didn't see any old spike remnants. So maybe in the future the other mature pseudobulbs will spike for me. So who knows? Yeah, but I'm happy with two. So in terms of potting medium, I have it potted in cut up bits of sphagnum moss, just very little. The reason why I have sphagnum moss in here, so its purpose is acting like a signal for me. So when the sphagnum moss becomes dry, they becomes crispy. So it's a signal for me to let me know that, hey, this orchid is dry, time to water. So I just watered it. So it's also I have a little bit of charcoal, perlite, and really big pieces of bark, huge piece of bark. This is to give the potting medium to give it very airy, allow lots of air circulation to the roots so it won't rot it. And having the perlite and the charcoal, these are inorganic medias, so that means the potting media can last longer because these are inorganic. They will not break down or anything like that. Because the reason why I put those in there, so the potting medium can stay there for a little bit longer, because this orchid does not like to be repotted very often. So the longer I can keep this orchid in the same media, the best. In terms of humidity level and things like that, yes, this orchid loves to be in high humidity. I don't currently have a humidity tray set up for this orchid because it's in my bedroom right next to my bed. So I don't want humidity right next to my bed. But it's doing fine for me because it's right next to a window, and I often have the window open, and sometimes when it rains, there are humidity. I mean, the humidity can be somewhat high when it rains. And I live in San Francisco. It's pretty foggy, so I guess it worked out. So it does like to have high humidity. I'm not sure what percent though. I would think that it's similar to that of the other oncidiums or even Phalaenopsis. And the lighting level, it's also similar to that of a Phalaenopsis or a Cattleya. So bright, filter light. Watering, just like any other orchid, don't overwater. Don't have the roots sitting in water because it'll rot. This orchid can be somewhat sensitive to too much watering, so be careful. That's what I have learned, because I have killed one of these. That's why I have the sphagnum moss in there, the cut up little pieces of sphagnum moss in there, so they can tell me when to water. So yeah, so you can adapt my way of doing, or if you have your own way, go for it. So this is what the orchid looks like. It's gorgeous. It's very interesting. It's unique, definitely unique. I don't think there's any kind of flower in nature that I have seen so far that resembles this at all. And it's not a fussy orchid as long as you really give it the right lighting, not overwater it, and give it lots of love. And it will reward you with beautiful flower. Alright, until next time, thank you. Enjoy!